Okay, here we see the set of spark plugs from a 2007 Chevy Suburban, and this has the 5.3 liter V8. Now, this is not a modulated displacement engine, meaning that I don't have the cylinder deactivation feature on this engine. Now, these spark plugs have actually been in the vehicle for a long period of time. This is a used car. It was purchased at auction and then resold. Now, the owner is complaining about just simply a rough idle. It does not misfire under load. But we noticed that some of the plugs, not just one, but several of them, the porcelain insulator have actually broken away. And you can see the heavy deposits of ash, primarily from lubricating oil and fuel additives. So these plugs have been in this condition for a long, long time. And then here is one plug that looks very nice. And as far as we can tell, all these plugs are the same age with the exception of this one. Now, this one was actually replaced by us because of a dead miss. A cylinder misfire clearly indicated there by the powertrain control module and displayed on the ECM. And when this plug was replaced, the vehicle ran smooth, and we went ahead and put it on the line and sold it. And now we've got the complaint of a rough idle. Now, of course, we're going to go back with the original equipment, recommended AC Delco plugs. These are the iridium plugs. We'll, of course, use a liberal amount of anti-seize. They're on the threads. This is an aluminum head, aluminum block, so it just makes common sense. The little anti-seize on the threads will assure that 100,000 miles from now we'll be able to remove these plugs. Okay, here we're going to reuse our spark plug wires, and this is of course going from the coil to the plug, so it's truly not coil on plug. We have, of course, the intermediate spark plug wire, and of course we have a combination heat shield and RF radio frequency interference suppression. Now, it's a good idea just to use a little bit of dielectric grease. Now, these plug boots are very tough. I had to fight with them to get them off some of the plugs. They've probably been there 100,000 miles. But just a little dab of this grease will make the next time much easier. And we'll do the same thing for the coil. Okay, now we're getting ready to install the spark plugs. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the, so I have 2, 4, 6, 8, number 8. So that's going to be over on the right-hand side, the passenger side. They're kind of tucked there between the housing of the evaporator, just behind the accumulator for the air conditioning system. This is the trickiest one to put in, and a good high-quality special purpose spark plug socket and a small extension is kind of what's necessary. You need to start it by hand. You'll notice that I do have a liberal amount of anti-seize. Right, here we're going to get started installing our spark plugs in our 2007 Chevy Suburban with the 5.3 liter V8. Now, you'll notice it's aluminum heads on aluminum block, and of course anytime you install new spark plugs, it's a good idea to put a little anti-seize on the thread. Now, cylinder number 8, that's 2, 4, 6, 8 here on the right side, all the way back, they're tucked there right up next to the firewall, next to the housing of the AC evaporator, and there we see the AC accumulator. This is the hardest one to get. All the other plugs are pretty straightforward. And of course what I have is a special purpose spark plug socket, small extension. I should be able to reach in there, get it started by hand, and then come in with the ratchet.